this is probably the most stratified intro we've had so far in terms of the time between the first, second, and third steps to get the podcast rolling. But we're rolling now. Hello, everyone, and welcome to episode number 270, or live show 13, of the Terminus podcast. I'm your host, Ellis, otherwise known as the Admiral. I had a long-winded, introductory joke that I wanted to do, but I feel like it is not as funny as the amount of time it takes to tell. So, I'm going to skip that whole thing. We are here in Kingman, Arizona, and I'll turn it over to my co-host now. Please refer to your order in the list.
Oh, I guess I'm first then. I'm Kaiserin, Victoria. You call me what you want. Pronouns are she, her. Yeah.
And next?
Oh, the list on Discord?
Yeah, the list on Discord.
I was trying to find.
I know. I was
list.
like, list.
No, the list of
speaking order.
The
order
speaking order.
yeah.
Yes.
All right. Yeah, on Discord. Okay. Because I thought that was different for everybody, but I guess not. All right. Hey, what's up? I'm TJ. You can call me they them. That's my name.
Wait.
I just want to kiss my fish.
Okay. Next.
I am Nick, otherwise known as O'Chili's. My pronouns are he, him, and pretty chill guy.
Did someone just die on your?
Yeah, I know.
End?
Nick sounds like
why'd you get so upset?
It sounds like you're being held here against your will.
I kind of am.
No, you
I think
aren't.
TJ would-
Oh my god, bro.
I think TJ would kill me if I didn't participate.
Oh God. Okay. Well, I'm not gonna pile onto this situation.
My sphere of influence.
I'm gonna let everybody
knows no
know
bounds.
off the top of the show that you can join us to listen in directly at theironhorseman.com/discord. There's a link in the description along with some other important links, including the link to the cargoes document, which will have all of the important links in it also. So it's sort of like an onion, there are layers. Or perhaps like an ogre, if you prefer. We will be taking callers from the live audience for various train news things over the course of the next hour and a half, after which we will have a post-show. Stay tuned for that, for loco games of some description. Let me go over the Class 1 metal before we get any further. The first thing we have was actually from before the last show, but it didn't show up in our feed until just now, so I figured I would cover it. The reason it didn't show up is because the video in question is from 8 days ago, and the wreck was back on the 5th. The video is of cleanup. This was Canadian National, some kind of derailment. I can't see it because it won't show me for some reason. The video doesn't want to play. But it's some pretty solid drone footage. It's 40 minutes of drone footage, which includes a wreck that happened back on the 5th. It was a double-stack container train. They have cleared the line. It's just sort of containers and well cars piled up in the woods next to the tracks. You can't really get an idea of what this looked like when it happened. At least I can't tell. It just sort of looks like they dumped everything. But that was back on the 5th. Canadian National did come around again today, but we'll talk about that last. In the meantime, CSX on February 17th, they had an incident where they... Oh, that's loud. My bad. They hit a lowboy with an excavator on it that was stuck across the tracks. Tale as old as time. I have no idea if anyone was injured. It seems to have been stuck there for a while, so I'm hoping the driver of the semi was able to get out before the truck was hit. We also have a... Now this is unfortunate because I know what happened here. A fatal grade crossing accident with the BNSF train back on the 20th. This was on Friday. I'm going to check to see if I can read this in an incognito window. No, I cannot. Yeah, the occupant the occupant of the vehicle was killed, and I have no other details. CN, not CSX, like I said, came back around just today, just before we started the show. We were given this article, which involved an Amtrak train carrying 128 passengers and a Canadian National freight train in southwest Memphis. I don't have any uh, photos of what exactly happened. The only picture that we have is an overhead view of a superliner, which appears to be on the track. So it wasn't that bad, I guess.
Optimal.
Yeah, I don't know. Emergency responders were on the scene where a CN train, quote, came into contact with an Amtrak train. No fires or dangerous goods were involved, and it happened at a slow rate of speed. So, I don't know.
I came into contact with a beer yesterday.
Okay,
Oh, Ellis, there's a video.
there's a video.
Yeah, in the link, there's a video, or it looks like it. It's a 10-second clip.
Is it the 10-second? I saw there was a video. I wasn't aware that
Yeah.
it was.
It's got an Amtrak train in it. I don't know if it's a video of the collision itself, but it appears to be a Charger with a superliner behind it. So,
Oh, viewer Noel Pennington provided video showing the Amtrak train traveling past Riverport Road a few minutes before the crash. So it's not of the crash. It is just the train, which Memphis. So that means that's the city of New Orleans. Just sort of moseying on down. Yeah, no, we don't have any footage of this. Again, it sounds like it was a fairly sedate situation. There were a couple of minor injuries, but the train will continue on, or probably already has by the time we receive this article. So I don't know, nothing
now,
crazy.
are you also going to mention how on? I didn't see the exact date because it was ABC News, but it was posted in our feed on the 19th, where Brightline hit a delivery robot.
Oh no, I missed that one because I was looking for just the mantle emoji tags that we have. No, this I think gets best rec because there were no injuries or potential injuries.
Lost food.
And yeah, that's true. Somebody's food, presumably. What are these? The Waymo bots? Or no, the Waymo is the cars. What are the little
They're not
robots?
Waymo.
Dumbass cars.
Come to Phoenix, and then you have to like see a car every 5 minutes that has nobody in it, and it's like that feels like it should be illegal.
So they're doing tests. I don't know if they're actually doing revenue service in Mass yet, but they're doing tests around Greater Boston, and they're not allowed to have someone, or they're not allowed to drive around autonomously in Massachusetts. They have to have a person behind the wheel. So there's just someone sitting there doing nothing in all of them.
That's how it was when they had the little autonomous buses here in Providence. There was always a dude who would be like quote unquote driving it or like supervising it. Also, the reason that I'm not including the Brightline thing in the mantle of responsibility is it was 5 weeks ago, so it's a little out of time. But anyway, sorry. Go ahead, Kaiser.
I always find the self-driving cars and around Boston to be funny because I just have the sinking suspicion that, or not the sinking suspicion, the suspicion that Boston's street plan would destroy.
See, that's what we've been saying. The drivers. That's what I've been thinking. Like, Waymo really is like really, you guys are gonna come here?
It's like because like out west on the West Coast, all the cities are like grids, and you get over to Boston, and it's it's an almost 400, 200-300-year-old city. If you go back far enough,
Yeah, I know.
And it's like London roads.
Boston's streetscape is a nightmare. The thing is though, and this has been my thought about autonomous road vehicles since the beginning. My opinion of them has not exactly gone up, but they only have to be better than human drivers, and human drivers are already really bad, especially in Boston. At least the autonomous vehicles will always know where they're going. Right? They won't make a wrong turn, and Boston exists to bait you into making wrong turns. Like, there's no, there are no right turns in Boston. It seems
At
like.
least at least it's not like Meridian down here, is because Meridian was planned by two different people. So the roads north of the railroad tracks are perpendicular to the railroad tracks, and the roads south of the railroad tracks are parallel to the railroad tracks. So that really messes with people
Well, see,
because
yeah,
it's like the polarity changes when you cross.
the difference is Meridian was designed by 2 people, and Boston was designed by 0 people. Uh,
Then by an evil
Oh,
person.
so
Yeah, then by a king.
by cows.
Yeah.
Anyway, all right, so we're here to talk about railroad news. To the audience, if you have a piece of railroad news that you'd like to bring up and discuss, you're welcome to put your hand up, and we'll come around to you whenever we have a gap in the existing action. Until then, we can talk about what we got up to yesterday in an abridged sense. But I will actually open the
Yeah,
floor
let's talk about all the
first.
fun stuff.
Yeah, we can't talk about the specifics, but I'm sure we'll get to it. But we do have a hand up in the audience, so let Trainhead in. Hello, Trainhead. Welcome to the show.
Hello.
What's
Northern
on your
Pacific-
platform?
Northern Pacific 1364 returned to Steam.
What is 1364? I'm not familiar with this locomotive.
It is a 460 steam locomotive that everyone claimed would never run again.
Well,
But it did.
very cool. This is under the auspices of a local historical society of some description.
I believe so.
Oh, it's part of the Northern Pacific Railway Museum.
Yep.
Gotcha. That's very cool.
He lives again.
So has it been? Do you have any interesting details about this? Has it been, under restoration for a long time?
Yes. It hasn't moved by itself in over 70 years, and I just figured new locomotive in restoration, or new locomotive that lives again,
Mhm.
might be big news.
It's an interesting case. It's got slanted cylinders. It was presumably a piston valve retrofit of something that was originally built with slides. I'd love to see an as-built photo of this locomotive. It looks really good though. When it said first time under Steam, I expected it to look a little well,
Yeah, she still looks a little tired.
no. I don't even mean that. I mean, usually, when they steam these things up and trot them out and say, "Look, we did it." It's like, "Oh, we didn't put the boiler jacket or the cab on it yet." It looks done.
it looks like it usually looks like 611 when they come out of when they come out of wherever they're restoring it, and it's just the boiler with sitting on wheels.
Yeah. It's like, hey, there's a fire inside. It's burning.
Yeah.
Also, controversial opinion. 611 looks better without streamlining. Kill me.
No, you're not wrong.
I don't think that's unpopular. That's just the J's do look better without the streamlining on
Yeah.
them.
They're
And
an unusual
someone-
locomotive where, like, the unstreamlined version, like, if you've never seen an unstreamlined NWJ, you're not prepared for how cool it looks without the streamlining.
Yeah. There's
Like
ways.
the Western.
There's streamlining that's done for publicity. There's some that are done for performance, and there's some that's just aren't meant to be streamlined.
All the ones that were done for performance, they're just like
Ooh,
weird door
I
wedges and look
looked up-
terrible.
Yeah.
Ellis, I don't know when this picture's from, but I just looked up a picture. I've looked up pictures of 1364 to try and find an as-built picture,
Mhm.
and this thing looks like it was left in pretty much a field
Uh-oh.
based on this picture.
Yeah, she's a little tired.
Throw it in the
I'll
public
put it
thread.
in
I'd
the
love to
public.
see it.
I'd like to see it.
Aren't we all a little tired though? I mean,
Oh.
can you really fault 1364?
Fun fact of the day: I'm tired.
Ditto.
I actually was tired and EP the other day. So.
Tired.
I'm
Wow. Hold
tired
on.
and EP's what I'm gonna be because we're getting 2 foot of snow where I'm sitting.
Oh, tell me about it.
I'm also
I will not because we will be here for another 5 hours.
Actually, looking at it, Ellis, I think this as-built was a Vauclin compound.
You think so?
Yeah, based on this picture.
Hold on, I'm gonna try to pull up. I'm gonna try to get this stuff on the stream. I know it's always a pain in the neck. So bear with me.
I think this was it looks like it was a Vauclin compound that got converted.
Converted to Narragansett.
No.
Yeah,
Properties.
it got converted.
Someone from Colorado.
Ooh, that-
Hello, Birdman.
Oh, there we go.
That
Oh,
that has the worst headlight. Oh, like I love that headlight placement, but it just feels wrong.
oh, it's so bad.
No, it's not. It's the most base possible headlight placement.
What?
On.
Okay.
Wait. It's when you have like those cutouts where it's like cut out and fold it here, and you get it, and it's even on one side but not on the other.
When you stack a bunch of stuff up to cut evenly and you don't realize that it's a little bit offset. But no,
Yes!
hold on. Go back. Nick, explain yourself. What do you mean? This is not the best possible headlight placement.
It's based. No, I will not be explaining myself.
Oh,
Thank you.
Are you
All
talking
right.
about the middle one? Are you talking about the wait? Let me
The Northern Pacific headlight placement where they place it
You know what? I
centered
don't hate it.
horizontally, but not vertically.
I gotta say, I like it where the mount is on the bottom of the smoke box and the headlight is centered that way. I like it. I like that one better. It's like the Canadian national style, you know?
Oh, here's
For
the
the sake
picture.
of argument, I'll argue this to my death. Boston and Maine are the only ones who know how to place headlights correctly. Sue me.
In what way? I've never thought about B&M having particularly unique headlight placements.
I don't know why. It's just it's centered, it's simple, and it looks right.
I think Kaiser, and you're right, by the way. This definitely is a Vauclin to start with. That's interesting.
Yeah.
It's something.
Because I'm also looking at pictures of it now from Trains magazine, and I can see where they basically just took the high pressure cylinder off.
Yeah, they just sawed it off.
They just sawed it off. I think the cylinders that are on there are like based on the low pressure diameter.
This is neat, though. I
It's
think
really
on the headlight situation, the thing that's throwing me off is the fact that the headlight is like half the height of the boiler barrel. It's just enormous compared to the locomotive.
What?
actually there's
what,
a pic. I've got to show this image. Keep talking.
what operating NNW steam is there right now?
That
Not
one.
NNW. Northern
Uh,
Pacific.
This?
I know that there's I think the 324.
Isn't there an 060 too?
Yeah, I think it's the 324. I can fact check that real quick.
Now ask me, riddle me this, Ellis.
Uh-oh.
Is that headlight a style point?
Well, it's got a visor. It's got the headlight visor.
Well,
Oh,
it's
that's
got
the
a
wrong
visor,
picture.
but look at the lit number board up on top, though.
I know it's like WWF9.
Hold on, really quick. Northern Pacific 924. That's the other operating
okay.
one.
That is the
Isn't
one
that
that
the
they
060?
tried. Yes, that's the
Yes,
060 that they tried. I think biocoal in at one point, which was kind of neat.
I wouldn't know that, but she is adorable. I'll take no arguments.
Oh, I
It's
thought there was one in Minnesota too, up in Duluth.
so weird headlight.
No. On the funny part is that for like the first week that she was operating, she had no cab roof.
Well, see,
Oh, well.
that's exactly what I was talking about. They outshop these things, and they're like, guys, we have a working steam locomotive. Ignore the fact that it has no pilot or no cab and no boiler jacket, and like the half of the smokestack is missing and the bell isn't on it yet.
They restored the 844. They put it outside, and like, look, it's working. It's an overly complicated 080.
Yeah, it's a big 080, and it's also just like a tube. I don't know who needs to hear this, but passing the hydrostatic test does not mean your locomotive is done.
It looks like one of those eBay locomotives that someone tried to weather, but screwed up and somehow damaged the gearbox.
Oh yeah. As sold as is. No returns.
No returns, overly priced. You try to contact the owner, they're like, "Who are you?"
Well, thank you for the Northern Pacific update.
You're
Uh,
welcome.
thank you for
No
the
low
Northern Pacific
balls. I know
update.
what I have.
And is there anything else you wanted to bring up while you were here on the show? We can move to the next caller otherwise.
Not really, unless I'm able to plug my YouTube channel.
Yeah, go ahead.
Subscribe to Whitewater Features, where we do crazy animatics, and you can see more of the beautiful sprite that is on my profile picture.
If you go ahead and drop a link in the public thread, I will put it in the cargoes for you.
I'll find it, but I'll let you move on. I'll
Okay.
send it in.
Yeah, somebody ping Trainhead in the public thread. Next up, let's see, who else have we got? We've got, this is Cody, right? I have the Discord overlay, the streamer mode. I can't see what people's names are. There it is. Yes, Cody. Okay, hand up on the show. When he gets here, we'll talk about that. I will put the 13. What was that? 1364 link in the cargoes. Oh shoot! I'm getting an emergency alert. I wanted to open the show
Shut up! Turn it off!
I wanted to open the show by saying we are on the brink of Snowmageddon 2. It looks like it's going to
all
be
gonna
worse than the
die.
Big E. We are facing down 2 feet of snow or more. Possibly. I've sort of been waiting for it to start. So, anyhow. Cody, can you hear us?
Yes, I can. I was just letting you guys speak for a few seconds before I said anything.
No,
Hello,
I
I'm Cody
appreciate that.
BTT
Welcome to the show.
Pronouns he, him. I have a few bits of news. I don't know how new they are because it's been a minute since I've checked in on it. I tend to volunteer at the Nevada Southern Railroad Museum out
Okay.
in Boulder City, Nevada.
Cool.
I know we've gotten a big few projects underway. We now have larger parking space closer to the railroad, and fully enclosed station building underway for visitors to actually not be out in the Nevada sun.
Always nice. Which museum did you say? Nevada State?
Boulder City,
Nevada
Nevada. I
Southern?
forget.
Oh, okay.
Nevada Southern. Yes, that's
Okay. Yeah, sorry, I
Do you
get
know
confused. I
do you know
looked up.
Braden over there? Brickman?
Brighton. Yes.
Yeah, I've met him a few times. He's a cool dude.
Yeah. And actually, fun fact. I was a earned the Braden Award, which is the Young Volunteer Award at the railroad.
Now,
I think it
that's
was for. I
sorry.
forget what years it was, like what timeline it was, but yeah.
That is really something. Well, congratulations on winning that award. But I'll be damned if winning an award plays second fiddle to being named, the award being named after you. That's pretty sick.
Yeah.
But yeah,
Yeah,
no,
because
congratulations.
Braden, his grandfather and I think his father or mother volunteered at the railroad, but he was like there every single day, even on off days. So, thus became that is how he got his award.
Very cool. So you said you were working on you had parking lot upgrades and things like that. You guys are the folks with the 844 diesel, aren't you?
Yes, the GP30. Yes.
Ah, okay. The thing that started a very funny chapter in UP Steam program history.
Yes, it did.
Does that
And
thing run?
on that, 844 still runs to my knowledge. Actually, in speaking on that, we actually now have gone across the bridge, past Railroad Pass Casino into parts of Henderson.
Oh shoot! So you
We
get
finally
a
got
longer line.
just like a half to a quarter of a mile, but hey, it's a longer run.
Hey, yeah, I can't knock that. I assume so. You know, you're pretty close to Las Vegas there. I assume you get some patronage, some overlap. Um, do you have an opinion on the incoming potential uh, uh, Las Vegas Bright Line train that I think is never gonna happen?
Seeing how that's been a thing that's been in talks since before I was born, um, that gives you an idea.
Yeah, any day now. Any day now. Don't worry.
Um, so, and the Nevada Southern is my local railroad, other than Union Pacific. But you can't really work for the railroad if you're underage.
And you shouldn't work for the railroad if you're overage. Just don't
True.
do it. It's not a good idea. Don't go work for the class ones. You'll want to die. Arguably,
So,
don't work for the class twos either.
So,
Yeah, just be a
and
volunteer.
also a few things. So, one of the older powers that the operating power that we have at the museum, uh, Locomotive 1000, which used to be a Western Pacific unit that was a prototype, has now ended its has been in its end of road service for the museum for a few years now, sadly.
Hmm.
It's painted in a nice um cobalt blue with a gray line across the center, with where the railroad's name is,
Kind
or
of a
the museum,
sucker
I
for
mean.
blue here. You get if you have a picture, I would love to see this. I'll put it up on the screen for everybody.
I will look for it.
Okay.
Give me a moment. And then there's also a miniature version that sometimes hangs about the yard of 1000, numbered 1001, live
I
steam engine.
I was gonna say, do you have like a little Cagney there? Like a little
Give me
miniature
one.
ride-on loop.
Yes. Well, it's not just a loop. It's like it's a loop, but it's a very sizable loop.
I see. Okay, I've pulled up the aerial map view. Yeah, this is pretty substantial. Is it 7.5 inch? Do you
Yeah.
know?
Uh, it's live steam. So all I know is it's live steam.
Okay, that's
I
good enough.
don't really know much more than that.
Uh,
I do apologize.
oh no, it's fine. I can't. There's even at the places that I volunteer and we volunteer, I'm not up on all the projects that are going on. What's funny is Mossy in the audience? No. Okay. What's funny is every time that TJ, I don't know if you've noticed this, but every time we go to the WWF with Mossy, uh, he just disappears. I don't know where he goes.
He sits inside all day.
I get on train crew, you go filming stuff, and then occasionally
Just
he
like for real.
appears. I don't know what he's working on. I don't know what he's doing. He's just
He's doing like nerdy stuff on his laptop.
he's
Being an
doing
nerd.
like weird. Can you imagine doing CAD? Ugh.
I mean, he is doing important work, but it's not the kind of work that we do.
I do now remember what locomotive type 1000
What is?
is.
Here you go.
Uh,
You're welcome.
You're welcome.
Where?
You welcome?
Where?
What's going
Sorry, I forgot my mic wasn't muted. I was doing
on?
something. I was getting
where?
Carly something. Sorry.
Where?
What kind of locomotive is 1000? Uh-oh. Did we lose him?
Oh, he's still there.
I think
and
we may have lost Cody. Cody, can you hear us?
it's like we're doing a seance. So let's.
I know. Well, all right.
Uh,
Between the emergency alert services and all this, the world is coming to an end.
the
I've got a-
NW2.
I've got a wind
Oh, it's an NW.
advisory.
Oh, okay. Hold on. I heard him. He came back for a second. All right. Well, Cody, if you want to find a photo of that and put it in the public thread, thank you for the update on the uh, museum in Boulder. And we'll come back anytime and see if we can
And
maintain a steady connection.
Hey, that's my line.
Well, I don't know. Sometimes it's Discord, sometimes it's people's individual connections. It's a real headache because I'm sitting here, we get dead air, and I'm not sure if I'm going to talk over somebody. I love latency. I love when I love when we're recording stuff and we're not all in the same room and we just end up talking over each other constantly. I love it. So much fun.
I need to rep my people now.
Go ahead.
Represent. So I've already posted the link in the Terminus, the public thread. I do volunteering on occasion for the Soule Steam Museum, or as it's commonly known, the Mississippi Industrial Heritage Museum. It is if I remember correctly, it is the only continuously operating machine shop or line driven machine shop in the United States.
Cool.
It is operated from 1906 when the machine shop was built to 2004 when it turned into a museum.
Wow.
And it still runs. In fact, I've run the lathes in the machine shop off the belt, off the line shaft. And it's an amazing thing. They have what is it? We have one of those lathes you can take a pass off of something an inch at a time. I don't know why you would, but you can. It has the torque to do that. But anyway, they reopened from the winter season because they closed during the winter because the building was built in the 1890s and early 1900s. It's not exactly insulated. But they reopened March 10th.
Okay.
For the spring and summer. And the link that I posted in the public thread is the list of events. The next big event for them is on. Let me look because I got distracted. It's on. What is it? The Soule Soule Spring Steam Up, which is Saturday, May 9th of this year. And it is they're gonna be running steam engines. And these ain't your steam locomotives, of course. These are stationary engines because that's what Soule made. And the whole factory is still there. They even have a foundry. It doesn't work anymore, but they have an entire steam engine factory that they have preserved.
See if you can make something from soup to nuts using the machine shop there.
I can also send another link that has the plan your visit link to their website, but it's got all the other information, a lot more than just the events page.
Okay. Yeah, I'll put all of this in the Cargos document for everyone to see down there. Plan your.
But the big thing for this year is the Soule Live Steam Show, which is Friday and Saturday of November 6th and the next day of this year, and I'll be working that.
Well,
Friday at
you
least.
got it marked out in your calendar well in advance. That's always good.
Well, I mean, I run steam engines sometimes for them.
Nerd.
What do you mean, nerd? You worked at you drove to Maine in the snow
Yeah,
to
I
run
did.
2-foot.
It
And
was
you're
a
calling me a
blast.
nerd?
Yeah, well, I never said I wasn't. Uh, no, so you're absolutely right. In fact, TJ and I were there yesterday for the last day of the winter season, I suppose you'd call it. We're doing nothing. The WWF has a completely blank calendar for the month of March. And then we're coming back in April with, I believe, a volunteer orientation day, rules class, uh, open house thing right at the beginning of April on the 4th, and then the weekend after that we have the steam first steam trains of the year on the 11th of April. I am gonna try to be there for that, but
Also, Ellis, there. If you click on that plan your visit link, there's a map
oh, I love a map.
in there that you might like to see.
I love a place called Steam Alley.
Yeah, it's a brick line. It's a brick cobbled alleyway that runs in between the two buildings, and they call it Steam Alley because when all the steam engines are running, guess where the exhaust goes?
Oh,
Into that alley.
it's the long but narrow sauna. No, but
Yeah.
Like I was saying, we were just up at the WWF. We had, well, I rode the train, and we had a mechanical failure on Edaville number 11, which necessitated us running a rescue train, which got me some brakeman training that I was thankful for, throwing switches, working handbrakes, but also involved TJ and about 5 other people frantically shoveling out tracks that had been completely snowed over, because who needs to access open cars during the winter? Well, us, apparently. But that's the...
Oh, is this the thing I had saw on Facebook? Somebody talking about how y'all had to break out the plywood snowplow.
No, the plow ran fine. We did run we ran a snowplow extra in the morning with the diesel 52 and one caboose, but we weren't there for that. But the thing that I wanted to shed the spotlight on is not that catastrophe, but it was what TJ was up to in the engine house.
What's TJ doing?
What the TJ doing? Hold on. Sorry, I just got a breaking news update that the reviews are in for yesterday.
Uh-oh. Oh, of the reviews of the WWF?
Yeah, we have a few.
Oh no. Oh, we might have to cover that here.
From Ed though, however, despite the accommodations and delay, passengers still had a great time.
Good.
Let's go.
Good.
We rode our train with our 2.5-year-old today, and when we asked him what his favorite part of the day was, he said it was his train ride back and getting rescued by the diesel switcher. The delay added an extra adventure to his day and will be a story he asks to hear for a while to come, we're sure. We're so grateful for all the kind and hardworking volunteers who help make it a special and memorable day. Please pass on the story for them all to hear.
Excellent.
Fire.
Life happens. We will be back.
Beautiful. Oh, I'm so thankful. So many, like, there were only a couple of people that were, like, actually annoyed seeming at us for being stranded in a train. And I was so grateful when everyone was disembarking the rescue train, which we had, the consist was Edaville 11, 040 tender engine, and then caboose, coach, caboose. And we had a full train with 100 people, and we packed that entire train into 2 open cars to get everyone away, to bring everyone back to the end of the railroad and back to their cars and everything. So we packed
They're
100
staying
people
warm at
in
least?
2 cars. Well, they had heaters on the stopped train. They unfortunately will do nothing when you are in a canvas-covered Canvas
Okay,
covered
we had
gondola.
our WWF Railway branded blankets, which you can buy in the gift shop.
That's true. We did grab the blankets out of the gift shop to give to people. Um, and yeah, that was a day. But as I alluded to, TJ, you were out there for filming purposes originally, but
Yeah, yeah. So I was out there filming for the YouTube channel as I do. However, being a day full of hold on, let me grab a link here in case anyone wants to see a little snippet of what happened. The WWF YouTube channel just happened to upload a short. Uh,
is this the one
I
that
don't
you
know.
were working on a minute ago?
No. I had
All
to
right.
change the music though because the music I was going to use is blocked in the United States. So this is a
Oh,
different song. But
okay.
anyway, yeah, no Towns Van Zandt apparently in the United States on YouTube. Which is a shame because he's got some bangers. But I was filming some stuff, trying to just get more B-roll footage for various projects that I would like to undertake. But we'll see. Usually they end up being not very good and then they don't work out. But so I started out the day. That's just the nature of making videos. It's okay. So I started out the day doing that and very quickly realized that my SD card was filling up very rapidly. So I filmed as much as I could, and then there was a planned photo run by at the end of the day. So I had saved a little bit of space on my card for the last, for the train ride, and then for the last little bit of run by footage. And then the mechanical failure happened 2 trains from when that was supposed to be. So when I got back to Sheepscut after filming at Olna Center, I was taking a look around the roundhouse, just seeing what was up, what was hip, what was happening, and they were taking apart the valve gear in the inspection pit of number 9, which I have never seen the inside of a locomotive, or the underside of a locomotive, I should say, with inside Stevenson valve gear. And so a partly disassembled locomotive with Stevenson valve gear was very interesting to see. Um, I now regret not being there with my camera, but obviously, as I said, the footage was limited, so I wouldn't have really been able to film too much anyway. But it was really cool to see. I've never been up close to valve gear like that. I don't really know a ton about it. I was like learning as I went. Um, I was like just poking around and looking around underneath and talking to the our friends who were some volunteers up there who were working on 9, and they were taking the eccentric rods out to clean them, and they're gonna be doing something that I don't know what they're doing. But they're doing something with them, and so they needed to be cleaned and labeled and placed on this like blanket thing to like keep them from getting damaged on the floor or whatever. So I was in charge of cleaning the eccentric rods as the other volunteers were taking them off the locomotive. And so through that, I asked a bunch of questions and, uh, you know, got some explanations, some like, not quite tours, but like a couple people, showed me other parts of the locomotive and what they do in relation to the eccentric rods and all this sort of stuff. And I got, I vaguely have a better understanding of how Stevenson works now, just because I spent the afternoon in the engine house. But that work was very quickly interrupted by the rescue operations. We were all just, tooling away in the engine house, and all of a sudden someone yells at the door, "We need to clear out bay 2 of the car base or car shop stat." And so we all ran over there. Well, we didn't run, that's against the rules. We walked over there quickly. And I'm not saying that sarcastically. We
Uh-huh.
actually didn't run, which was very good. Um, Ellis, you know who ran, and it
Yeah,
wasn't us.
me.
Yeah, you learned a little rule breaker.
Yeah, well, listen.
So
I learned that if I'm wearing my work boots, I can step in any depth of snow and it doesn't matter. Uh,
yeah,
so
Yeah, I was wearing my snow pants, so it was really nice to be able to stand knee deep in snow and film without being cold. Um, but
No.
yeah, so we like ran over and or no, Jesus, we didn't run.
Walked
He's walked.
quickly
He speed
over.
walked.
we briskly traveled over to the car house and we dug out the switches, we swept out the frogs, we uh engine number 52 absolutely barreled through some piles of snow that we weren't able to clear in time. They got the two coaches out and they went down the line to rescue people. And so I had a very stress-free day, carefree day, and then very educational day, rapidly interrupted by a very stressful experience, and then right back to being having a nice, very peaceful day. I finished cleaning the last eccentric rod, got a little bit more uh, education on Stevenson, and then we watched the number 11 limp back to Sheepskit, where we
Do you,
I helped dump the ashes, and we helped we watched them try to navigate the issue that they were having and put it away.
We watched them struggle to get it into the roundhouse.
Yeah.
so do you think Stevenson is cool? You should
I-
see Corliss.
Well,
Okay.
TJ has seen Corliss. We've got
You have
Corliss.
seen Corliss?
Yeah, we've got Corliss stuff at the New England Wireless and Steam Museum because it was made here in Providence.
Oh yeah, that's right. Because I think the Corliss engine we have in Meridian was made in Providence too.
And I
Watts Campbell.
I do want to highlight one more I want to tug on one more thread here before we go back to the audience, because Cody has returned, which is that if you, dear viewer, want to see the underside of a locomotive with Stevenson valve gear, there is a pit that you can step down into in the Rare Museum of Pennsylvania, where you can go underneath PRR consolidation. I think it's at H3, and they've got like the plexiglass floor that you can look up through into the internals of the locomotive. It's very neat. And if you, dear viewer, want to contribute to this podcast, you're welcome to join us at theironhorseman.com/discord. You can give us links in our Terminus news channel, or you can chime in after raising your hand. I'm going to let Cody back in so we can finish whatever it was he wanted to tell us. Welcome back.
Hey, I'm back. Okay. So what I was trying to say was it was an EMD NW2.
Okay.
1000 is an NW2. And I've sent a photo of it in its as seen today livery at the
Mhm.
museum, and also its livery as it was when it was part of the WP.
Oh, that's really orange. Hang on, I gotta share the tangerine with everybody. And it was painted up like this back in 2011, and then it has since been repainted into Nevada Southern.
I it might have been originally in 2011, but I doubt it. I'm pretty sure ever since the museum has owned 1000, it's always been in Nevada Southern Railway blue,
Oh, okay, sorry, maybe
which
I'm
is a cobalt
misunderstanding.
and silver.
Is this photo of 608 just an example of what it would have looked like?
Example of what it would have looked like.
I see.
Because I
I
doubt that
understand.
is actually. Because I don't remember. I do not recall what the cars and the locomotive in the background of the photo that I sent. It is probably just a recolor.
Oh, okay, WGTX strikes again. Uh, anyway, all right. Well,
But
thank you.
So our switcher has become the shop switcher, which is probably what it's supposed to be doing, instead of being extra loco when 844 needs to do maintenance.
Notably, you're 844, not the 844.
Yes. Yes.
We're
Yes. The GP30 844.
we're
Yes.
we're sending the NW2 out to Cheyenne to assist Ed Dickens.
Oh God.
When you see him in the parking lot, oh no, he's here. He's scouting.
And also, in
What's he
our,
up to?
I was going to mention this earlier as well. In the development plans that are going to continue with, even with our visitor center, we are also going to expand our 3-foot narrow gauge line so that way Eureka and Palisade number 4, Eureka, has a bit more place to run and also can be stapled uh, safely as well
Oh,
and maintained.
you have European Palisade 4?
The owner lives in nearby Nevada Southern.
Okay.
So the museum does not own ENP number 4.
It just comes to visit.
Correct.
I see. Okay. That locomotive has always been a favorite of mine. From watching,
Yes, seeing how
whatever
it
VHS tape.
seeing how it was the first locomotive I've ever ridden, a steam locomotive I've ever ridden behind. It has a very deep spot in my heart.
I love that thing. It's so pretty. All right. Well,
Mhm.
thank you for the Nevada Southern update, part 2. Um, I'm going to go and put one of my co-hosts on the spot. So, once again, thank you for hopping on.
You're welcome.
Hey, Nick,
Hey,
you've been pretty quiet. Is there anything in the
I've been
news
here.
that's on your mind?
Not particularly. It's kind of been a slow few weeks for train news, I think.
Yeah.
I guess I have something. I don't know if this was covered last week, so let me. I have something. I'd like to talk about CPKC's order of Ace Tier 4s.
Oh, yeah, new locomotives, and they're not the only people that have
And
ordered new locomotives. Isn't that
no,
right?
no, bunch of people have been ordering new locomotives recently. We have this is from about a month ago, so it is a little old. That this is kind of old news. But I suppose we can talk about some new locomotive orders.
Yeah, well, we haven't talked about it
Um,
on here. I remember seeing it come through our feed, but no, we haven't talked about it at all. So what is the
so
significance of this other than, oh my God, they're ordering new locomotives?
well, it's kind of interesting. Well, I think Canadian on that note, really quick, I think Canadian National may have ordered new locomotives, or another railroad did.
Union
Um,
Pacific said they were ordering new ones, I think, too.
yeah, well, Union Pacific's ordering rebuilds. Hold on, let me see if I can.
$800 million multi-year fleet renewal program, SD70 ACE Tier 4s, which are going to be coming out of Muncie, Indiana. Is that how you
So
pronounce that? Muncie?
yeah, it's been a really slow few years coming before this for locomotives. And I said, well, there was a long time, probably between about 2016 or 17 and probably 2022, where there was really no new locomotive orders, and the only things being ordered were rebuilds of existing stuff, and that's still happening. Wabtec's got their Wabtec's GE rebuild program for their earlier series FDL like Dash 9 AC44s. Is a really good program, and the rebuilds are really solid. That's why like every railroad has done it now, with exception sort of to BNSF, but not really. They do have them. They just haven't done them on the scale of everyone else yet. Um, but this kind of in the last year or so, the trend has kind of been bucked a lot because BNSF took a bunch of is still taking a bunch of new Gevos from Wabtec. The CPKC order is kind of significant though. That's the first EMD order in years.
Oh, really?
The first new locomotive. So there have been rebuilds ordered from Progress Rail over the years. The ST70 MACHs on Metra
Mock.
are a good example.
Oh, that's right. Now I remember those.
Yep, of a rebuild, but this is like the first order of new locomotives from Progress Rail since 20, I think 2016 when UP ordered Tier 4 Aces. Um,
And
so it's kind of significant.
Progress Rail is the people doing new build EMDs now. Like that is EMD effectively.
Progress Rail is EMD's successor, yes.
Gotcha.
So it's very new. NS also recently ordered new locomotives. Of course, none of these locomotives are emissions compliant. Um, they're all older GEVOs, non-Tier 4 GEVOs.
The rebuilds.
No, the new locomotives. The rebuilds
Oh,
are even below new
I
GEVOs.
didn't know you could order non-tier 4 locomotives at this point.
Um, it it's kind of the way it works. It's like if you order a Tier 4 so obviously rebuilds are exempted.
Right. That's why
So
everyone's doing rebuilds.
that's why everybody's doing rebuilds, because you don't have to comply with emissions. We have to comply with emissions. You don't have to comply with Tier 4 emissions specifically. But uh, there's a way around it. If you order, you can apply for a credit locomotive, where it's like if we, spend X amount extra on something that will make up for additional emissions, then you can order the Tier 3 locomotives, is my understanding. Um, so that's been their go around.
So if
And S ordered. Sorry, go ahead.
effect, effectively the rebuild things is like rebuild taking the chassis of a 60s car and putting new electronics and stuff in it, so you
But
can
keeping
then
the
say
60s,
you
yeah,
can then say that it's a vintage vehicle and you don't need the catalytic converter.
Yeah.
essentially, it's essentially the locomotive is not new. It's it's just been rebuilt because, and that's not totally a lie, because it does keep the same prime mover, and a lot of the
Well,
electronics are
so
just
so
refurbished.
so when they say, so say for instance, if they rebuild I know they don't do this too much anymore, but like a GP38, they're still does that mean that they're still manufacturing parts for that prime mover
Yeah,
and
they're
whole
still
new,
the
like
7 FDL.
like engine blocks and stuff for that prime mover?
I don't know that part. I don't know that in depth. I know that they do still um they do still
Well, see,
count
the
the.
reason I'm asking is
I'm
because
just confused on the question.
the reason I'm asking is technically speaking, could you build a locomotive out of the new or the new old parts and then have it be considered an old locomotive
Oh,
because
so
it's
like a
being
locomotive of
made?
Theseus situation.
Yeah,
Okay.
we're gonna get it one
Oh
piece at
no,
a
no,
time.
that's not what I mean. Like I'm saying, they're still manufacturing parts for the old locomotives so they can upgrade the old locomotives. But if you built a locomotive from scratch out of the upgrade parts,
It would
is
count
it
as a new
still
locomotive, I
Yeah,
would
because
it
assume.
would?
you'd need it's the frame is the kicker, right? Like the frame is what the powers that be care about, and they don't make new frames. Like they don't
Yeah,
they
the
don't have a
frames
stock of old
are the big
frames.
thing. The frames
Oh,
in the
so
prime mover, and if the prime mover is the same, like they don't put a new prime mover in. They usually just take the existing one out, completely disassemble and refurbish it, and then put it back together.
Okay,
So it's effectively a new. It effectively becomes a new prime mover, but it's not technically.
so it is literally the locomotive equivalent of what I said, of just keeping the chassis of the '60s car, so you can say that it's an old vehicle,
Yeah,
so you don't have to put the
Exactly, yeah.
catalytic converter
it's the VIN.
on.
It's the VIN of the locomotive. They want to preserve the VIN.
So theoretically speaking, you could keep a tier 2 or 3 locomotive in service indefinitely and never upgrade it, because that does make sense. The
Because
class
it's
ones would
grandfathered
do
in.
that.
Actually, the rebuilds aren't even tier 2. They're like tier 0 plus.
They're so bad. It's so
Or they might be tier 1.
it's so like oh yeah, you it's the hey, when you buy new locomotives, they need to be tier 4 compliant. They need to be, compliant with emissions. And the class 1 saying, "Okay, we'll just never buy new locomotives then." Uh
And so I guess that's why it's so important with this, is that they are buying new locomotives.
exactly. This
Which,
is significant.
knowing the class ones, this means that if they're buying new locomotives, they're about to get rid of a lot of them too.
Probably, yeah.
So it's CPKC. So what locomotives does CPKC have that they use as road locomotives that they would get rid of to
They'd
replace
probably
them
get
with
rid of
these new tier
a lot
4?
of the. They'd probably cut a lot of this KCS stuff first, if I had to guess. So
Well,
like your earlier
well,
aces will be cut. Um,
and the SD40s, because CPK or KCS still had SD40s rolling around.
yeah, the SD4, yeah, the SD40, the non-dash twos are on for. The
Yeah.
dash
Well,
twos are eternal and will never go away, and
Well,
kind of just fill a stupid
Well,
niche that nobody is. I mean, nobody manufactures mid-sized road switchers in 2026. They're just manufacturing road locomotives.
we're about to see
So there's
so
always
well,
going
I
to
much.
be
mean, it it just always makes me think that if they really wanted to make an SD40 ish or dash 2 ish locomotive modern, all they would have to do is take the standard cab off and put a wide cab on it, and that's all that needs to be changed.
Magic.
a lot
Put a
of
wide
their.
cab on it.
I think a lot of your um, SD40s are a lot more likely to be rebuilt um, rather than retired. But by rebuilding, they will. If it already has a standard cab, it doesn't need a wide cab. Anything manufactured before a certain date still gets can
Oh
keep its
no!
standard
Does this
cab.
mean that I'm gonna lose all the GP40s that do switching in Meridian, and they're gonna be
Probably.
doing it with SD40s now?
No, they'll probably just remotor the GP40s. They'll
Well, they're
throw.
that. I'm the reason is I'm very somewhat emotionally attached to one of them, because one of them is still painted in gray ghost, so
What
that's
were you
gonna get
saying, Nick?
repainted.
Hold on. What were you
I'm
saying about the
sorry.
remotoring?
They usually will on the. It's okay. On the older locomotives, they'll instead of rebuilding, they will. Well, they'll rebuild them, but they can get like government grants to throw in a newer prime mover. So, like a 16 cylinder 645 and a 12 cylinder 710 make about the same horsepower. So they will essentially take out that 16 cylinder, put in a 12, say, look at this, guys, we've reduced emissions. And that's more likely. In fact, KCS has done that a bunch. They have like a bajillion eco locomotives.
Fewer cylinders.
So,
Easy.
so by reducing cylinders, you keep the same horsepower, but not really. It's kind of a weird.
Well, thinking about it, like diesel electric locomotives generate electricity to power their traction motors, and a lot of that energy is dispelled in heat. It's not actually used by the traction motor. So, what would be the minimum sized engine that you could put in a diesel electric locomotive and still get the same performance out of it?
Golf cart.
Because
Practically, eight cylinder is the smallest as they'll go.
Have there not been
So,
like these giant
they'll go.
6-cylinder engines in the
Or
past?
six. There's actually that's not true. There is a 6-cylinder in like one of GE had a pretty much a failed rebuild program of SD40-2s where they took out the 645 and put in a Gevo, a very small Gevo 6 prime mover. And it kind of sucked,
Well, I wonder.
to be honest.
I wonder why.
Ellis, you're
And
saying
nobody else has rebuilt them.
the big six, and for some reason popped into my mind that, oh man, GE used to build like big 3-cylinder engines that put like for pumping. They
Oh,
used
yeah.
to like pumping water. They used to build like these big 3-cylinder engines that the cylinder bore is like a foot across, and it only makes like 25 horsepower, but it has like stupid RPM.
We just
It's like really high RPM, really short stroke, but like 25 horsepower.
need to LS swap something. That's all
Oh
this is.
yeah, LS
That's where we're headed.
-.
We're gonna LS swap an F unit and call it a tier 5. But
That just sounds like something they'd end up doing in like Central America to keep the railroad running. They put V8s in steam locomotives.
I've seen the steam outline on the Sandy River and Rangeley Lakes up in Maine. They have a quote unquote steam locomotive that just has like a V8 in it. Anyway, yeah, so that is pretty significant that the class 1s are out there buying new locomotives. You said, Nick, something about they don't have to be tier 4 compliant if the railroad is doing something else to reduce emissions.
I believe. Don't quote me on that, but I believe that's how that works.
Okay, because I was gonna ask like what that would be. Not that you would necessarily have the answer, like almost like a rhetorical question. Just like, so we're just gonna run fewer trains. How about that? That's a reduction in emissions. The continuing story of the Class 1 meltdown is how much the Class 1s don't want to actually be running trains. They want to just make the money without having to run trains.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, there's your emissions benefit. We're just not gonna run stuff. Class 1's trying to avoid tier 4 standards.
I'd like to also point out, and I'm going to resum this video with a timestamp. The SD23, which is the rebuild thing, like that crazy amalgamation of a rebuild thing.
Yep.
That hold on, let me resend this link. That GE rebuilt from SD40s sounds really stupid. It's like, do you know like if you ever have like watched any sort of episode of the Jetsons, the cartoon, and like you have the cars, it's like that. That's basically what this sounds like.
I'm gonna have to put this on. I don't, hold on. Can I just I'll put it. I want to see if this will make it through to the stream. I'll try to see if I can play it. Is it timestamped to that sound?
Yeah, basically.
Supply for this work train. And now that the engine is at speed and under load, take a listen to how the prime mover of this thing sounds now that we're right next to it.
Okay, it kind of sounds like a wood chipper. Or just like a sewing machine. It is very
really
goofy.
Really stupid.
Boy. Okay, I wanted to come around to something because Kaiser, you mentioned you wanted to touch on this, at least, which is we got an article about California High Speed Rail. The CEO was briefly arrested, like he's been released. No charges are going to be filed, but he was briefly arrested under suspicion of domestic violence, which is exactly what this project needs right now. There really aren't
Yeah.
a lot of details, and like I said, no charges. Everyone is released. They brought in uh, his fiance, um, but there was no evidence to show that either was a dominant aggressor. There weren't injuries on either of them. Uh, there was like the quote was suspicion of misdemeanor domestic violence and misdemeanor child endangerment. Um, or no, sorry, that was what they arrested his fiance about. Um, they arrested him, alleged misdemeanor, uh, suspicion of domestic battery that involved a juvenile victim, but there's not like it's not clear why. Like clearly there is a victim here. Um, in an interview with KCRA on Tuesday, Sawyer, which was uh, the attorney for Choudhury, the CEO, um, he said he has not been given a copy of the police report, and he can't accurately describe what the police department quote thinks they saw that led to the arrest in the first place. I There's not a lot to go off of here.
Oh, so it sounds like uh it sounds like just general, like the usual corruption.
I mean, maybe. I mean, maybe this could have been
It kind of
something.
sounds like it sounds like somebody said that this guy did something and they arrested him without looking into it any further. It's
Possibly.
like when people SWAT streamers.
Yeah, if the CEO of if the CEO of California High Speed Rail got swatted, uh, get back to working on the railroad,
but
get off of Call of Duty. Now, allegedly there was some sort of argument, like a domestic argument, that led to this. Uh, but it's not clear what that might have been about, or
it says what I do know is that there was an argument between family members of my client's family, the lawyer Sawyer says.
Hmm.
In an interview on Tuesday, he said a third party called 911 as it was happening, but could not say if the caller was a neighbor. So it just sounds like they got in a fight as or as about to be married couples do, and somebody overreacted. And
maybe.
knowing well knowing how or what types of neighborhoods these people live in, there are an awful lot of Karens around there. So
That's possible.
it's like Karen Central. Like,
Nosy neighbors. Well, I know. I hope this is as much of a nothing burger as it looks like. Uh I'm not entertained by the idea that there was a potential child victim here. But seeing as there were nothing is proceeding in terms of charges and everyone is out of jail, it doesn't seem like anything is going to happen here, or that there's really anything to sink our teeth into. I don't I feel like maybe even there's a possibility that this article is sensationalizing what happened, and
I found another article about the same thing from the same website. It says that the investigation into this is from 2 days ago. The investigation into the high-speed rail CEO also includes conflict of interest concerns, Governor Newsom confirms.
Huh?
I'll send that in the public.
That
So it might not just be.
Hmm.
It might be they used it as used this as an excuse to start an investigation on them. I'll put it
Maybe.
in the public thread.
that's oh my god. I know I've said this before. It's been a little while since I've said this specific thing, but CAHSR, I love the project. We need high speed rail. It has definitely been the poster child of how not to do this, and I hope that in the future we have learned something on a how to
The thing that
orchestrate
really
a high speed rail program.
the thing that really annoys me about this is that this like this catastrophe of California high speed rail is going to make it so that the United States never builds a publicly
Yeah, that's
funded fucking
that's
high speed rail project ever again. Like everybody's gonna be like, oh well, look what happened when California tried to do that. When like I feel like this is like such a uniquely California thing. Like the amount of red tape it had is a uniquely California thing. The like neoliberal way that they tried to do it is a uniquely California thing with all the
It's
contractors all the way
contractors all the
down.
way down. Yeah.
Like this is such an example of like the like the incrementalist like neoliberal way not to build a railroad, but like it's gonna be the big picture. We should never do this ever again.
Well,
Don't use my money for this ever again type
I
So,
don't
thing.
think I
so
don't think it's a
effectively,
hold on. I wanna relate this to something. I don't think this is a specifically California thing, although certainly I can't say that it would have been uh, as difficult in many other places. But this does remind me a lot of the Big Dig, uh, and TJ, I think you're absolutely right on at least one count, which is that people point to the Big Dig constantly and say, "Oh, that thing, it was terrible. It was a disaster. We should never do anything like that ever again." And
I mean, it's why we're never gonna get the North South Railway.
yeah, it's why we're afraid of doing major infrastructure projects, like uh, because we could never seem to manage to freaking keep a lid on them. Uh, we want to pawn the all the work off on contractors
The
and
lowest bidder.
yeah, the lowest bidder and uh I,
to be fair, that's how the U.S. works with infrastructure in general. It's just
oh
Yes, I know, and it's
yeah.
bad.
yeah.
I
Except,
mean, it's not just
they'll never.
infrastructure either.
Well,
Like,
the thing that really annoys me is that like road infrastructure doesn't really have the same amount of critique. I would say, for the most part, like
Well,
broadly speaking,
oh,
like unless it's like an
I mean,
extremely unique case like the Washington Bridge, where it's just like, yeah, you guys truly screwed the pooch. Like, I feel
oh,
like people like
no,
have
I
like
mean,
such
I
a
would say
specific eye.
hold on.
it's not a national thing, but locally, like everybody, like say for around me, they've been trying to build the highway from Meridian to like Jackson or whatever for literally 20 years, and at this point, it's a joke. Like, I mean, they're never going to finish the highway. It's still 2 lane in some places, but
It's
it doesn't get the national coverage that rail stuff does, because I guess rail is. I would think that the reason is, and this is just how I'm thinking about it, is the reason why rail is so sensationalized in the media is because rail has kind of fallen out of favor, so to say. Like since the 70s, pretty much, rail has been like it's been there in the background, but you don't really hear anything about it. Like ever since like Conrail collapsed, you hadn't really heard anything big about rail. But
except
suddenly you're getting, except like all the other stuff.
well, except when there's an effing catastrophe. Now, I think you have a
Yes,
very good
that's
point.
what I'm saying.
Uh,
They
Yeah,
only talk about it
I
when
think
something
maybe I
bad
worded it
goes
wrong, but like that, yeah, that's kind of my point. Like it seems like when something bad happens when they're doing a train project, everybody's talking about how bad it is, and we don't really highlight the positive train projects. But like I feel like I don't know. Maybe it's just no. I don't know. I feel like it's not
I
as
think it
severe
also
with
has to
other.
do. I don't actually thinking about it. I don't think it has to do with just rail stuff. Like if you watch the news and all of it's bad. They don't
Well,
talk
Oh
about
yeah,
good things ever.
yeah.
On
That's
any
like an
news,
hour
it's
long
all
conversation.
bad.
That
Like, but it just might be that, and it's part of the human brain. We always only look at the bad side of things, naturally speaking, because that's a survival instinct.
suppose. There's a great
But
video called "This Video Will Make You Angry" that is about like this and like why clickbait works. Uh, but no, I think you've got a point with the rail. I think there is a point here to be made about the rail stuff. In irrespective of or the comparison to highway projects, of which there are plenty of examples of scrutiny. Uh, but for most people, their only interaction with trains is hearing about NS destroying an Ohio town and getting stuck at a railroad crossing. Uh, the
or having a garbage experience on an Amtrak train.
yeah, I mean, most people don't even get the chance to try Amtrak, and you should because most of the time it's pretty great. But
Or
the
it's people complaining about the MBTA.
well, let's not bring the MBTA into this. Uh,
what?
there were some good MBTA jokes during the incident on the WWF. Um,
Uh, the best worst railroad in existence, the
I,
MBTA.
I love the
Uh,
MBTA.
yeah, well,
What a mess.
we were talking about high speed rail and how high
Yes.
speed. See, like I agree with TJ that this is probably gonna ruin it forever, but not in the way. I think that it will ruin it, but not in the way that we expect. So we expect it to be like, oh, everybody's going to say, oh, look, this is what happened in California. This is why we shouldn't do this. But I think it's going to be more like, yes, let's try again, but they're not going to do it right. It's like they're going to do it like we're going to take this existing railway track stretch and we're going to straighten it and turn it into high speed rail
Wait,
instead
I
of
don't. Why
building.
is that wrong?
I mean, they. I would love if they. It, try again is an optimistic take on this, I think.
Yeah,
But also,
That's
they've
what
been
I'm
trying to
saying. I don't.
effing do that in Connecticut for 50 years, and it's not happened. So, uh,
I was just I don't I can't get my words in order. I have what I'm trying to say in my head and I can't put it into words. I just I can't figure out how to say it. But
well,
what I'm
sorry, go ahead.
what I'm trying to say is I don't think I think it'll ruin it for about 20 years, and then in 20 years people have forgotten about it, like
I think you're
unless
right.
they do
I think you're
like it.
right if they succeed. I think that because to bring it back to the comparison with the Big Dig, I think the Big Dig was a successful project, and yet the specter of it still hangs. I think that uh, California has the balls to keep pushing this project forward until it's done. And when it is done, people are going to celebrate, but they're not going to forget how badly it was mismanaged for at least a little while. We need to get a generation of people that grew up with it not sucking to then want to try again, and then hopefully they will have learned something.
Yeah, yeah, because like the big dig, like to stick with that example, like there's like a generation of people who like are legitimately like, no, we can never do any infrastructure ever again, rah, rah, rah. But like I feel like younger folks are like aware of the big dig as like folklore, but like also like people want like new infrastructure in Boston, and I feel like the sentiment of like we can never do anything like this again is is kind of fading away, you know?
Yeah, the bad stuff, the mess, the years of construction and cost overruns and everything like that have they've faded into memory, and they haven't entered into memory. They've been out of the memory for, folks that are our age, uh, because
Unless you listen to the Big Dig podcast.
well, even then, I feel like the Big Dig podcast does a pretty good job of explaining what happened and how it happened, and providing a whole, like a holistic approach to the situation, so that you can understand how things got the way that they got.
I think if on a serious note, I think if everyone who complains about the Big Dig watched the entire Big Dig podcast, they would complain less about the Big Dig and say, "Wow, there's so many lessons to be learned from the Big Dig."
Yeah, and
And
I hope we can.
I thought of a really stupid comparison.
Okay, one more
Is
stupid
it the big-
comparison, then we have to wrap the show up. Go ahead.
Okay. The Big Dig and California High Speed Rail is effectively like the French trying to build their navy in the early 1900s. It's like, okay, we're going to build a battleship. We're going to build 4 battleships, but we're going to award the battleship contract to 4 separate yards who have never worked together, one of which has never built a battleship before. Okay, you're building your battleship now. Okay, we're going to go in and we're going to change X, Y, and Z.
Oh God. Yeah.
Yard 1, you've already installed X, Y, and Z. Well, you need to rip it out and put in what we say now. And then by the time the battleship is finished, one looks like a hotel. One of them doesn't function like a battleship because it was built by a yard who don't build battleships. One of them is 50,000 tons overweight and sinks off the slipway. And the other one works perfectly fine, but they spend about 2 or 3 million francs or whatever extra on it, and now they're in deficit and they can't build a battleship next year.
The best thing that Texas High Speed Rail did, which is not to say that it did very much, rest in peace, Texas High Speed Rail, sort of, was like inquire and partner up with the people who knew how to do high speed rail. You know, like they got in touch with the Japanese. We're like, yeah, we want to build a Shinkansen. How do we do that? Yeah, California High Speed Rail, the Big Dig, these other huge infrastructure projects. Uh, different to a ship where there's rarely good guidelines to follow, but even still, the changing of the ideas in midstream can always, like, that is a tremendous headache, and yet sometimes you have to think on the fly. You've got NIMBYs and things to deal with.
Eminent domain.
Yeah, that make your life difficult. I I hope.
So when are we getting Skunk Train High Speed Rail?
Right after they finish their
Stinky Rail.
Stinky Rail. Oh, are we back to the? Are we talking about the MBTA again?
Hey, that's the MBTA elevators, not the trains.
When there's the mystery liquid on the floor.
The elevators and the connecting tunnels from downtown crossing to Park Street smell like piss, but the trains are usually pretty good.
It's easier to take a train in for cleaning than it is to take the tunnel in for cleaning. All right. We are gonna wrap up the show. This has been not a very news-heavy episode, but it hasn't been a very news-heavy week after all. There are some things. If there's anything you feel like we missed, feel free to jump on next week. We'll be around next week, same time, same place, same bat time, same bat channel. And we will have. There were a couple people that bought trading cards recently. You can buy trading cards on our website. There's been kind of a locomotive versus Renaissance going on since we started doing the post show. I love it. And I'm supposed to do all the thanks after we do latest train on Amtrak, but I'm going to thank you all first, and then I'll thank you all again later. Do I have guesses for latest train on Amtrak?
I'll go last.
Okay.
We'll second to last.
Okay, so TJ.
Gonna guess southbound Texas Eagle.
Southbound Texas Eagle. Okay. Nick?
I'm gonna guess the uh, west. Is there a westbound Sunset Limited?
There should be a westbound Sunset Limited. Yes, there is a westbound Sunset Limited right now.
I'll take that one. I'll
Okay.
take that one.
So I've got the southbound Eagle, the westbound Sunset Limited. And before you give me your answer, Kaiser, and I do see 2 hands up in the audience, I would like you to put your guesses, put your guesses in the podcast public thread, please. If that is why you have your hands up. If not, I'm sorry, the hands up time has passed. I have to wrap up the show so that we can get to do the post show. Otherwise, we're not going to have Locomotive Versus tonight. But if you have guesses and that's what you want to say, go ahead and throw them in the public thread, please. Kaiserin.
Well, Trainhead said Cardinal, but I'm gonna say, is there a crescent?
There is a crescent.
Is it 19 or 20? Is it north or south?
There are both.
Okay. I'm gonna do northbound crescent.
Northbound Crescent. We will start with that. The Crescent to New York is 13 minutes late at Birmingham, Alabama. And I don't think there's another one on the system right now, although things are kind of busy up here by New York. Yeah, the Crescent is 13 minutes late. Doing pretty well, the Crescent. The Texas Eagle. You wanted the southbound Texas Eagle, right, TJ?
Yeah.
To San Antonio, 1 hour and 26 minutes late at Cleburne, Texas.
Cleburne, Texas.
Cleburne?
Cleburne.
Cleburne.
Kivon took me there.
Why?
I don't know. I went and visited Kivon, and he took me there.
Oh, okay. Oh, sorry, you said Kevon. I thought you said your mom. Your mom took you to Cleburne, Texas.
Kivon took me to Cleburne, Texas.
Well, that makes sense. The Sunset Limited to Los Angeles is 3 hours and 1 minute late, or well, 2 hours and 49 minutes late at El Paso. Estimated 3 hours 1 minute late at Deming, New Mexico.
It's not the latest.
That is not the latest train on Amtrak. No. So let me check the guesses. I don't know if anybody is going to get it right here. No, nobody has it right. The honorable mention, or honorable mentions, plural, starting with a 1 hour late Acela at Philadelphia, and a 7 hour and 18 minute late California Zephyr at Burlington, Iowa. That is not the latest train on Amtrak. There's also a service disruption on a Northeast Regional at Lynchburg, Virginia. The latest train on Amtrak is the City of New Orleans to New Orleans, the train that got sideswiped in Memphis that we talked about at the beginning of the show, 8 hours and 12 minutes late at Greenwood, Mississippi. It left Chicago 3 hours late. It was 3 hours late until it got to Memphis, and then it was hit by Canadian National and gained another 5 hours of delay. So they're still moving on.
Oh, yeah. Trainhead has a point. Greenwood, Mississippi, or Greenville, or whatever it is a place where Casey Jones wrecked.
Yeah, I don't see the Floridian. There is a Floridian to Chicago that's 41 minutes late, which is pretty sedate for the Floridian. I don't see another Floridian, like, at all. I don't even see the southbound. So I wonder if that train got canceled.
Well, he says in the public thread that he knows that they hit a car, but he doesn't know if they canceled it.
If it's this one,
It was probably canceled.
Well, this one hasn't left Florida yet. It's down.
The set got in late, and
it's down by
they're
Lakeland.
turning it. Oh no, that's the inbound or the outbound.
Yeah, I don't know.
Florida.
I don't know what happened to the hit a car Floridian. If it is this one, they did the fastest cleanup of a train hitting a car, I think, in Terminus podcast history. But anyway, oh shoot, I forgot to put that into the document. Vamp for a minute. Let me I need to do the needful. You all are always so good at this.
Yeah.
How about them? How about that?
Uh,
How about them
and,
Cowboys, huh?
How about the U.S. Olympic hockey team?
How about them figure
what
skaters?
did they
huh?
do?
How about
They-
the women's hockey?
they
team?
I know
won.
I know the figure skaters from Georgia listen to what is it, Mortal Kombat or whatever.
What?
What?
That's
But
awesome.
No, one of them. No, I think Georgia. Someone from Georgia. I think it might have been Georgia, the country.
Oh,
no, that's what
Uh,
I'm saying.
Yeah, and it was in the there's like a gala after the Olympics where they do like exhibition performances, and they did a duos performance to the Mortal Kombat theme.
well, that's
Did
kind
you
of
do a
sick.
duels performance, TJ?
To the Mortal
What?
Kombat theme, or
Just generally a duel.
No, I can't figure skate. I can skate regular, but I can't do any cool tricks.
I can't even roller skate.
I can
It's pretty
roller
fun.
skate like directly into my own face.
Uh,
Also,
See, usually, Ellis, when I roller skate, it's not my face that hits the ground first; it's my ass.
yeah, you just break your tailbone. Uh,
That just reminds me. I remember the last time I tried to roller skate was at my sister's birthday a couple years ago, and I shot out from underneath me, and I landed on my backside and just laid in the ring.
it's worth giving up at that point. It's
Well,
I,
I couldn't. I just felt like I couldn't breathe. That was like,
oh, you got the wind knocked out of you. That's a yeah. It do be like that sometimes. All right. Well, thank you all for joining me on this episode. Thanks to the viewers and our guests and everybody. Thanks to Steve and Wes, and thanks to whoever runs this cam, because it's not Virtual Railfan.
Southwest Rail Camps, my goat.
Nick's goat, Southwest Rail Camps. Thank you for not sending us a cease and desist. Remember to tell your friends about the show, where we sometimes talk about live train news and the other times we sort of talk about whatever. And we will see you next week. Need to get ready for the post show. Post haste. Is there anything I forgot to do?
we're gonna have to do the number